Southeastern Bowhunter Podcast.
All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Southeastern Bowhunter Podcast. I think it's episode 138. In this episode, we're going to have my buddy Kyle Custer from Bowhunting League. And, you know, it's that time of year, man. We've got deer season's now two months out. And, dude, it's heating up. It's crazy. So, very excited about this episode. Me and Kyle have been talking about it and planning it for a few weeks now. Very excited to see everything that Bowhunting League's getting involved in this year. I know some of the stuff, but I'm going to let Kyle talk about it. Dude, it's the week of the bow shoot, the third annual Southeastern Bowhunter Bow Shoot. I kind of want to rattle off everybody that's doing the giveaway real quick. So it's going to kind of be a different intro with the partners and stuff this week. So obviously G5 is going to be part of the giveaway. They sent over a giveaway box. We have 3 packs of broadheads and a quiver. Summit is giving away a brand new tree stand. It is a Viper. What is it? Viper Pro SD and Mossy Oak DNA. So that's going to be sick. Osseo is giving away a $300 gift card to whoever wins that. So you can get a whole new getup, a whole new setup of Osseo gear camo for this season. Moultrie is giving away a camera. The Scrape Doctor was kind enough to send over a package, or really I guess like a bundle box of his stuff. So whoever wins that is going to get scents for this season. And then Victory is going to be giving away 1 pack. I think it's a 6-pack of arrows. I don't remember exactly what type, but still, thank you, Victory, for that. Ace in Social Circle is going to be doing a whole box giveaway, so everyone's probably going to end up getting stuff. I talked with Mark the other day, and he is working on getting that together. And then, you know what? I had another one. Hold on one second. I know Andy from AA Outdoors TV is giving away some stuff, and then we also have, I believe it's My Chameleon Gear or just Chameleon Gear. They're also going to be giving stuff away, and they just reached out to me today at the time of recording this and wanted to get involved. So we're going to have a whole group of just amazing people giving away stuff at the shoot. Very thankful for that. Please go help support those guys and all our other partners. Speaking of those other partners, Working Class Bowhunter, I've been with them for a little while, and you know, I'm very thankful. They've got an amazing podcast with also some really, really sick gear. So head down to the description below and use that code. Head over to workingclassbowhunter.com and get your stuff today. Osseo gear, like I mentioned, they came out with the new Wrap X, which is a camo pattern that I plan on using this year. It's brand new, just came out, and dude, it's sick. So very excited to get that out in the woods. Summit tree stand. You guys know I've been using Summit for years, so very excited to get back in the tree with one of those. The Bowtique, Mike has been working on some awesome arrow wraps. Very, very, very hyped on the stuff that he is going to be coming out with, and thankful that he is working with us. Been working with Mike now for a little over a year. Just best arrow wraps in the game, dude. Bergie Bowsmith, Bergie's a wizard when it comes to bows. Go check him out. It's also a dealer for a lot of the brands that we love to use. If you want to get your bow super tuned, get Bergie to do it. G5 Outdoors, as you guys know, I'm running the Mega Meats and the Dead Meat V2s this year. They are also, like I said, part of the giveaway. Prime Archery. Went to the range this past weekend, dialed that thing in for the shoot. Actually got Jessica, my wife, to shoot her bow for the first time. And she actually enjoyed it. So hopefully we can get her into it a little bit more. But head over to primearchery.com and check out the new form. Check out the Form 30. Check out the RVX Plus 32 and 34. And I know that there's some other stuff coming for next year, so keep an eye out for that. Dialed Archery. You can see the hat that I'm wearing. I got my proof dialed in, no pun intended, but I got the proof ready to go. I'm ready for deer season, ready for the shoot. Best sights in the game. There is no question, hands down, Dialed Archery is the best bow sight that you can get. So head over to Dialed right now. They just did a Marsupial X Dialed collab. So they've got a bunch of cool things that's going on with that. So please head over to Dialed Archery, look at what they have to offer, and go customize your sight. Make it match your bow. They have all the colorways of the major brands, so you can get your sight to match exactly what your bow is, or you can offset it. Either way. Then you've got Ace Hardware and Social Circle. I've talked about them before, being part of the giveaway, and they're just a local shop, man, that I love to support. They help me out. I try to help them out, and Yeah, dude, love those guys. Very excited to be seeing them come out and help support the podcast at the shoot and just support the podcast in general. Moultrie cell cameras I use might have been working great. I actually just put food out today. So very excited to be seeing some deer. We've got some slammers this year, man. I'm actually getting a little bit nervous. I'm excited but nervous. But those Moultries are working fantastic, and they also have a new feeder that just came out. Holds up to 200 pounds. So if you guys are the type of guys that run feeders, go get it. It works. It's a great, great feeder. Um, Everything Moultrie makes is awesome. So next up, Bowhunting League. We're going to talk about that in this whole episode, so I'm probably not going to run through that too much. Boning Archery, it's the vanes that I'm using. You can see them in the background if you're watching the video. I'm running the Alpha, and when I took it, I put it to the test this past weekend. So I shot 60 yards, had no drop from that. I did have to set my bow back in because I built my hunting setup was a little bit lighter than my tack setup. So, or I'm sorry, a little bit heavier than my tack setup. So I had to resight in some stuff, nothing crazy, but absolutely no parachuting and no drop at all because of the helical. So that design that they came out with the Atlas and the Alpha, top notch. Definitely head over there and get some new vanes if you haven't already started building your arrows for this season. Use the code down below to save 20%. Next up is going to be the Chase. Brock is working on some good stuff. Head over to his TikTok. I know he's been very active on that. His YouTube's been very active. The Scrape Doctor is a new, if you don't know who that is, you really need to check him out. He is a new partner to the podcast. And we made that official like a week or two ago. Very thankful to be working with James. The dude is a scrape wizard, man. Honestly, I put that stuff out today, and I know I cannot wait to show you guys the photos of what those deer are going to do. So head over to thescrapedoctor.com. Use the code down below to save you some money. And last but not least is Victory Archery, which definitely not least. My Victory arrows have been working flawlessly for me for the past 2 years, really 3 years. I mean, I killed, the deer back here, Pickles. I killed him with some Victory, and this before I even was working with them or anything, but it was some Victory V-Force gamers. And that was when I realized that Victory has the best arrows on the market. You've heard me talk about before where I'm just like, oh, well, all arrows are, kind of the same. It's this, and this. The reason I say that is mainly because a lot of them are similar, but Victory for me stands out because of their durability. I've had no problems. I've never broken one except for one where I shot it into, on accident, a piece of steel rebar. So, of course, any arrow is not going to survive that, but they're always very consistent for me. The weights are consistent. I don't have to worry about straightness or any of that. And I'm running the RIP TKOs. They just came out with the new HLRs not that long ago. So if you guys really want to, change your arrows up this year, head over to Victory and check out what they have. They have so many different types that it's insane. But I love Victory, and I think you guys will too. So that wraps up the partners. I gotta, I every single episode I always push the word and I push the Lord Jesus and all of that. And I gotta tell you guys, man, I had a conversation with my buddy Brock today that had me fired up. It's very important to me that people find their salvation in Jesus. And, I'm not saying this to sound like I'm holier than thou, because believe me, those who know me well enough know I am not. I am not holy. I'm not, perfect by any means. I don't deserve that title. But I do know what my relationship with Jesus is and what it's done for me. And I know what it can do for you guys as well. So, I'm not trying to push it on you, but I care about you guys. I want y'all to have the same relationship with Jesus that I have, if not even better. It's extremely important. It really is. The world, right now is crooked, and I don't mean to sound negative, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that I know Jesus is not happy about. Like, cause I know his word, and I know that what he taught us and what he did and what he was about and who he is not the way the world is going. And that's he predicted it. He said that was going to happen, and it's been kind of weighing heavy on me lately that some stuff's kind of going in a direction, man, where it's just, the only thing you can do is understand, and it's part of God's plan, and that, we have to grit and bear it and just keep going through it, right? Keep your faith in him, and everything will be okay. I'll say this. I'm not going to do this for long. I know I've kind of had some long-winded preaching moments here lately, but I am going to tell you guys this. If you're one of those people that have heard, if you just believe in Jesus, you're saved. But see, the problem is the devil believes in Jesus too, right? the whole point of the relationship with Jesus is that exactly. Have a relationship with him. Put your faith in him. And putting your faith in somebody means you trust them, right? So Jesus says, if my Father, who takes care of the sparrows in the sky, make sure they have food, make sure that they're sheltered and all of that, what more do you think he's going to do for you? If he says that, anytime, and I've just realized this very recently, but anytime you have a struggle, anytime you're going through a tough time, you have two options. One, you can stress out about it like crazy and you can lose sleep. You can probably make mistakes because you're stressed and you think you're doing the right thing. That's totally understandable. I do the same thing. Or you could place your faith in Jesus and just know that no matter what happens, you are going to be okay. It's kind of funny. Like I was talking to my buddy Brock about this today, and I was telling him kind of what I'm saying to you guys right now, that, my entire life, before I ever found the Lord, I was one of those guys. I used to be like, somebody asked me, are you a Christian? Yeah. You believe in Jesus? Yeah. But I never denied it, but I also didn't actually have my faith in him, which is kind of the key that's missing in a relationship with him. It's the same thing as you trust your father or your mother or your brother or whoever. You trust them. You know that they're going to have your back. It's the same exact thing. What's funny is though, like my mom and my wife get mad at me all the time because if something goes wrong, most of the time I try not to stress about it, right? Because I'll just be like, look, it'll be fine. And I mean that, because at the end of the day, it is going to be fine. Jesus will get us through anything that we go through. And I can tell you guys with full certainty and full experience in this exact situation, where if something's going on and I say, oh, it's going to be perfectly fine, or I'm stressed out or whatever, yeah, he'll get you through it. But if you ask him for help and you truly mean it and you believe that he is going to do it, he does it. I know it sounds, there's people that can pick this apart. And if you want to skip this part, that's perfectly fine. I hope you don't. I really hope you don't. But yeah, I mean, he said, if you ask anything in my name and believe that you have received it, it will be given to you. I have learned that the hard way a lot lately. And, it's true though, because it's happened. I've seen it happen. So yeah, I don't know. I don't mean to go on a rant there. It's just one of those things, man. It's so important to me to get the word out. And, I just want every single one of you to at least give him a chance. If you haven't already, at least give him a chance. If he's, if you think that he's hurt you, I promise you he hasn't. God doesn't do evil things. He doesn't hurt people in the way that you're probably thinking. Now, there are things that happen that are bad that God allows, but there's always good at the end of it. Good always comes out of it. Okay. So sometimes it's tough to find that. Sometimes it's not. But, just place your faith in him, trust in him, and, he will be there for you. He will take care of you. So that's my preacher moment. I think that one came out just because, I had that conversation earlier, and it's one of those things that's been weighing on me lately. But a couple last details for those of you who are coming to the shoot this week. Starts at 9 a.m., July 13th. It's on a Sunday. We are going to have a bunch of giveaways. DNR is getting involved, so that's awesome. Thank you. Shout out to DNR for letting us do this and really get everybody together. Crossbows are allowed. Traditional archery is allowed. We're not keeping score. If you want to keep score, you can, but we aren't. There is no prizes for score. We're just going to have a really good time with a bunch of people that love to shoot bows and bow hunt. And even if you don't bow hunt, you can still come out and hang out. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's welcome. So hopefully you guys are able to make it. It is at Charlie Elliott Archery Range in Mansfield, Georgia. Those last minute, I've got some buddies that are driving like 3 hours to come to this thing, dude. I'm so thankful for that. For those of you that are making the long haul, the long drive, thank you for coming out. Seriously. And I can't wait to see you guys. So enough rambling on. Like I said before, if you don't know Jesus, please give him a shot. Thank you to all our partners, and let's get into it with Kyle Custer from Bowhunting League. All right, y'all. We've got my buddy, man who calls me, and we just kind of cut up for hours and hours and hours and talk crap on people that'll never know we're doing it. But it's Mr. Kyle Custer from the Bowhunting League. Ben, if you're listening, I promise you're not one of those guys we talk crap about. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. We love you. But yeah, man. So all right. So this is kind of like, we're buddies, right? So the professionalism and everything is kind of out of the window.
See you later.
Yeah, I don't, I'm not going to be like kind of in interview mode for this one. even though we are going to talk about the Bowhunting League. So before we do that, why don't you tell everybody who you are, how you got involved with the Bowhunting League? Because I think last year when we did the BHL episode, it was Ben, Brad, and Cam.
It
So,
was the cool guys.
oh, love him to death. Brad made me so mad this weekend. He sent me a Snapchat of him and his family at the racetrack, and I've been itching to go back to the dirt track. I just haven't had the time. And so I messaged him back. I was like, dude, don't do that to me. I was like, I'm so jealous right now. I've been wanting to get back into racing, and now you're sending me videos of this stuff. Like, you're not helping my cause, buddy. But yeah, man. So I guess let everybody know pretty much who you are and how you got involved with BHL.
So my name's Kyle. BHL kind of it literally just like fell out the sky into my lap. Didn't know nothing about it. I got a little bit of a competitive nature, and I wanted to find a reason to be competitive and still enjoy the outdoors. And I was just looking up bow contests and hunting contests on Facebook. And then a buddy of mine was like, "Hey, dude, check this out. Bowhunting League." I got in it, looked at the rules, looked at everything, and past 3 years I've been involved in it as far as a contestant. And this year Ben wanted a do boy, so he texted me and said, "I got a do boy job for you," and that's where I'm at now. Now I'm speaking to you because BHL's done put us in contact.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Ben's such a good dude, man. He really is. It was so funny when I did that episode with Adam. What was it, like 2 weeks ago? He texted me and was like, dude, that was a great episode. And I'm like, dude, where you been? I haven't heard from you. What's been going on? And he's like, man, I've been super busy. I was like, dude, I know. I'm Kyle tells me about it. Brad tells me, like, I know how busy you are.
He's
So
not that busy.
no, well, I don't know, man. Some of the stuff that BHL has been putting out on the Facebook and all that, it's like it I don't know if all of that comes straight from Ben, but I know that he's definitely got a heavy part in it. And
Definitely a heavy part. And there's a few folks that I'll let them stay behind it. Obviously, Cam's one of them, but
mhm.
they do a great job at putting stuff out on social media and reaching out to folks that way. I mean, it's a huge help, especially when you like myself. I don't have a lot of knowledge in that, so like I've got a few guys that have some videos on one of our sponsors. He was talking to me about getting a video edited, and one day he'll get it done. I was like, I can hook you up with somebody. And I texted Cam, and then they got together, and now he's editing his stuff.
Hell yeah, dude. See, and that's what I love so much about the league is like, because I've got buddies, and I've been, I think now pushing people to join for the past couple of years, right? I think my first, yeah, it's been 3 years because my first time joining was when I killed this buck behind me, and I was still relatively new, I guess, to hunting. I think I was only like one or two seasons in fully bow hunting, and dude, it was wild, because, and I said this on, I think, Adam's episode, but like, how people will post deer that they kill and maybe they're super hyped on it, right? And then
Yep.
you get nothing but negative comments, and you just don't see that in the bow hunting league. And that to
You
me
know,
is the most important thing. And it's like after I posted that deer, and it was nothing but love, and then I got involved more with the podcast, and then got involved with bow hunting league. Dude, I think whatever you guys are doing, you need to keep doing it because it is really bringing a lot of people together. I've met so many good people through that, just the Facebook page. I mean, there's 50,000 people in that Facebook page, and everybody
yeah.
seems to get along.
And
Like,
it's weird because it's like the negative people funnel themselves out.
mhm,
You don't have a filter that targets words, and you know the negative people just they know they're not wanted there.
mhm.
And that's the best part about it. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had a few people like I posted a deer, it was 140, and then he gave me every reason why it wasn't. I told him I'd drive to him and take it with me if he didn't think it was. I ain't seen him since, so I'm kind of I don't know where he goes, but
Yeah.
it just kind of filter their way out, and that's really what the bow hunt league is about, is giving you a little bit, like I said, that competitive nature, but also at the same time having has such a support system with everybody. I mean, yeah, there's going to be times like, I mean, I get ignored by Ben. Let me call you back. Can I call you later? And he
Yeah.
don't call me back. I mean, he is busy. but I can reach out to Cam. I can reach out, to Ryan, and then Ben will call me back. And then there's some other guys in the group that I can reach out to. And I didn't know any of this and anybody until I joined this league.
Yeah.
And, I've shot 2 out of the 3 years I've harvested and been able to enter a buck. I have yet, besides the one guy, to really have somebody get on my nerves, and
Yeah.
that's a huge plus. That's one of the biggest reasons why I actually continue to do what I do.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen people in the league, somebody post something negative that they'll jump on and be like, dude, who are you? Like, why are you, judging this guy? And because, I mean, like, I'll be honest, man, I haven't shot a buck in 3 years, and so I haven't had to deal with like the negative comment stuff. I mean, granted, I have killed a couple small does and people are like, oh, why'd you shoot a fawn? I'm like, it ain't a fawn. There's no spots.
Tastes
Like,
good.
oh, that tastes great, dude. We just had some backstrap last week from one of them. It was the best deer I've ever had.
I always say the people who complain the most are the people that wish they could kill one or didn't kill one.
Yep, and I think that's what it is like, I mean, I'll be honest, this year is looking very promising, very blessed to be able to have the deer I'm chasing, but there are times, during season when you get down in a rut and you just, you feel like nothing's going to happen. Right. And then you go on Bowhunting League and you see someone killed like a 200, like, all right, well, I guess I'm not as good as that guy. Right. But see, the problem is I'm the same way competitively, that I'm very competitive. I might not talk about it a lot, but I'm more competitive with myself than like other people. Like if for example, if you sent me a photo of a deer and he was like 170, right? And then I've got a 140 and you kill the 170 and I kill the 140. Do you really think that I'm going to be sitting there being like, dang, dude, my deer's not as big as his? No. But at the same time, I have that drive where it's like, okay, obviously you can kill 170s in Georgia. So now I need to go and find that. That's the beauty of it. It's kind of like, what's the phrase I'm thinking of? I want to say it's like a good sportsman like conduct situation. You know what I'm saying?
I get, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I don't know if I described it right, but it's just uplifting. Let's just put it that way. It motivates you to do better.
I would say it gives you a reason to keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things, like, around where I'm at, we get some decent deer. We get some really good deer too, though.
Mm-hmm.
But like my wife, she hunts the same property as me, and I'm not going to shoot the buck that she wants to shoot. She shot a doe with her bow. That's the only thing she's killed with her bow. There's a few 110, 115-inch deer that I'm like, oh, that's going to be real good. And then she'll come up and be like, hey, I want to kill that deer. And I'm like, tear her ass, girl, go. Bye.
Yep.
Can't kill him in the house. See you later.
Yep. Dude, it's I don't know if I mentioned this or not recently. I might have, but like my wife's getting into archery a little bit. Granted, I will say, I think I told you about it, maybe not, but we went and shot this past weekend, and I had her bow restrung, set her up to whatever her draw length was supposed to be, and it's my old bow, right? Which is like a $300, blackout from Cabela's. And at the time, I thought it was the best bow in the world. Now shooting this prime, I know that it's not. So, but I told her, I was like, look, I'm not going to spend all this money if on a new bow and all this stuff if you're not going to get into it. So we go and shoot. And before she went and shot, she was like, so what are you going to do if I shoot better than you? And I'm like, I don't care. I was like, I'd be happy. You're probably going to. Statistically speaking, women shoot better than guys anyway.
Women shoot way better.
Exactly.
I'm living proof because my wife shoots dots.
Dude, and Bergie told me the same thing. And so I'm like, I don't care. I'll be happy. And then she goes, well, what if I went hunting with you? And my ears perked up and I'm like, you what now? Because she's always been like, she doesn't hate hunting, right? Like she loves deer meat. She lets, I'm not gonna say she lets me do it, but like, she's cool with when I go out and do it. Yeah. And unless it becomes too much, which it has in the past. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. She's now coming around to the idea of eventually in the next couple of years going out with me to go hunt. And she was like, what if I kill a bigger deer than you? And I had to think on it for a minute, but I was like, honestly, I'd be happy about it. I was like, if I had a deer that, was a stud and I knew that I could put her on him, I would do it. And all my buddies are like, dude, I'd be so mad. She's not going to hunt here with me. Like, she's going to have to go somewhere else. I'm like, why? Dude, let her kill it. What's the big deal?
I've literally like have told me and my wife had a sit down conversation about exactly what you're talking about, and we have come to a conclusion that before season opens up, right? Get middle late August, we're gonna sit down and I'm gonna show her these are the deer I got,
Mhm.
and she's gonna say, "Well, I want this one or I want that one," and I'm saying, "Okay, well, you're gonna hunt that one.
Yeah.
If the one I'm hunting is continuously daylighting, you're not gonna give up on yours because mine's here."
Yeah.
And she completely understands that. Which she doesn't hunt in the mornings. She like loves to sleep. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
But she knows there's some places and some deer that I really try to, if they grow and she picks it right off rip, then I mean that's hers. It is what it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
And she asked me the
Well,
same question. What happens if I shoot a deer that's bigger than yours? And I just look at a site, like I look at an empty spot on the wall and say, well, I guess it's gonna go there.
nice.
What else you
See,
want me to say?
that's a good husband right there.
Yeah, I
It's just,
won't like talk about this because I'm on this, but it's like
she the thing I explained to her though was like, look, I've got spots that only I can go to, right? And it's not because she's not allowed. It's just I don't have a setup. I have no setup right now for a 2-person hunt. I mean, she's not going to want to get in a tree stand. So I'm going to have to get a ground blind, and putting one up, in middle of season is not smart. So I told her, I'm like, if you're going to do this, let's do a year of you shooting a bow first. If you're actually like, I want to see you be committed to it. I want to see you actually enjoy it. You don't have to shoot as much as I do, but if you consistently keep doing it and you decide you want to try and kill something, I will buy a ground blind and I will go set it up on a property that I know we can do that at. But see, the beauty of that is then I have a property she's not going to hunt. And that's where most of my bucks are. So it really works out.
yeah.
It just kills me when guys are like, oh, I don't want my wife killing something bigger than me. I'm like, dude, who cares? I'm like, what? Are you really that insecure that you're worried about it? Like, it doesn't matter.
It's hunting, dude.
I know. I didn't think we were going to talk about this, but
it's all. It's at the end of the day, it's all luck.
Yeah.
You can do all the studies you want on one certain deer, and he's showing up at 4:30 every single day on an east wind, and he's coming in from right to left. Unless you're in the stand and that deer decides that he's going to walk that same trail,
you
ain't going to kill him anyway.
Yep.
And I'd rather, and honest to God, I'd rather my wife or my friends or me kill a deer besides my neighbors.
Yeah.
And not saying nothing against the neighbors, but I think that's the competitive part of it. The deer we set out for, somebody in my group killed it on my property before somebody else did. I love it.
Dude, see, you get it. You get it. And I'm so glad that we're able to even talk about this because, like, I guess to circle it back to the Bowhunting League, that's why I love it so much, because it's not really, it kind of on the surface to some people might look like a pissing contest, like, oh, I shot this 166. Well, I shot a 167, so I'm better than you. People might see it that way, but that's not what it is, and it's like, there's so much, what's the word? There's so much respect and honor given to people in the league that do so well. I mean, yeah, there's teams, like Working Class Bowhunter. They've been top 10 pretty much every year, right? They're also in Illinois and Iowa.
OGs and all that.
Yeah, like there's people that and that's an argument too. And I want you to sort of elaborate on this for me, because one argument I had with a dude I used to be buddies with a couple of years ago, I was trying to build a team, and I said, "Hey, you want to get in this?" And he's like, "Man, that's a waste of my time." I was like, "Why?" So, because I've only got a 140 on camera. All these other guys in the Midwest and stuff, they've got 200s, and I'm like, so kill two, huh?
It's free.
Well, yeah. But see, his problem wasn't so much the paying part of it, like, whether you had to pay or not. It was, why am I going to waste my time with all of that when I'm not even going to win anyway? And I'm like, that's the wrong way to look at it. Because if you kill, let's just say you get lucky, right? Because, we're near Atlanta. Our genetics are very similar to what Atlanta's got. And so the potential for an absolute just out of nowhere giant is there.
I mean, that certain YouTube group that does it all the time.
Yeah, Seek One. Love them to death. I love those guys. They're the reason I got into bow hunting, or at least one of them. And he hunted in Atlanta too. That's the crazy part, is he was hunting in the same county that Lee killed 200-inch deer.
It's
And I'm
all
like,
it's like I said, it's all luck.
mm-hmm.
I mean, and the best part about it is, like, if he's worried about competing against some of these guys out in the Midwest, he could kill a deer and win a meat wagon.
Yeah.
He could go out and win King of Queens. He can shoot.
I forgot
You
about
know,
that.
there's so many opportunities to win something. I mean, and everybody's gonna want to win. Everybody wants to win. That's the competitive side to this league. Everybody wants to win. Not everybody is going to win. The
Yeah.
South is going to have to battle to win, and that's completely fine. But guess what? You're not wasting any of your own money. You're still hunting the same deer you were going to hunt regardless,
Mm-hmm.
and you're entered for all of these prizes. So I don't know. It blows my mind with some of the people that are like, no, heck no, I ain't doing that. Waste of time. That's fine. Miss out on what you want. I hope you still kill that big deer.
Yeah.
But
I think it's an ego problem.
I
That's
think it is.
something I've seen a lot recently, is like people's egos getting in the way of just a good time, you know? I mean, because like one thing about the league that I love is the fact that I know guys, and I'm one of them now, but I know guys that have been able to trade hunts or get invited on hunts to things they would never get to do. You know, like one of my buddies, Josh, was talking about going to Tennessee for a hunt this year. And I was like, I might go, might not, maybe, right? Because, I don't know where he's looking at. I don't know Tennessee like that. And then Dylan from Blue River Bowhunting comes up with this hunt. What is it? The Hunt to Help hunt that we're doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, you guys should come out. We're doing this, this, and this. And I'm like, see, now that's something I want to get behind. And now I'm going to be going to Tennessee in October. And he's part of the league. I'm part of the league. Like, it didn't really happen because of the league, but because it's there, now BHL is getting involved in the hunt. And it's like, dude, I think if it ever comes a time where bow hunting is in jeopardy, the league is what's going to save it. That's the way.
100%. And it's the league is just a league to a lot of people. But there's some of these guys who, when they hunt, especially in the South, bow hunting is few and far. And you see all these teams signing up from South Georgia, Florida, just guys that are looking for teams are signing up. And it ain't never been like that. I've never seen this many South Georgia people, not so less just Georgia in general, but a lot of the, guys signing up in the South of it. And it's growing. It's growing fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a lot of these guys, they hunt that first week or weekend and they feel like, oh, mosquitoes, gnats, too hot, sweating. And then they hold out and all of a sudden it's rut. They got a deer that's chasing does and they're with a rifle. I mean,
yep. Look, I'll tell you what, as much as I hate heat, I live for early season in Georgia. If I have basically formed my season now every year around that the first 2 months, if I don't have a buck on the ground, I'm probably not going to get one, just because the way that it works, at least around here, the rut and all that stuff. I've seen one buck that I would shoot during a rut in the past 6 years, and it was on public. And I mean, if you've listened to the podcast, you know the story.
yeah.
But see, the thing is, like, again, that, the first 2 months where these deer are kind of on a pattern, you can get them on a scrape. You can, we could feed in Georgia. So if you ain't baiting, you're waiting, dude. I'm telling you, this year has been insane. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know what's causing these deer to want to eat so much, but good God, you put out 2 bags of corn, it's gone in a day.
We got, I don't know how you are at your places, but we got a lot of ag field right here around me. So me and my wife we'll sit there and we'll drive around in the afternoons right at dark. And like last night we had like, I don't know, 40 deer in one field. And by the end of the night, I think we were up to like 150 just driving around.
God. Yeah. We have ag around here, but it's not the deer in my area are weird, man. They're really weird. Like, you can have a beautiful field. They might be out there. It's always does, never bucks. The bucks around here like to stay in the thick, drainages and thick, I guess, like privet and all of that. And it's just, They're weird because I mean, I've told you I've hunted near Atlanta and stuff before, and it's just thick everywhere, right?
I got them
There's no
kudzu
action,
bucks.
huh?
Y'all got them kudzu bucks.
Pretty much, yeah. So like you got to go through a lot of thick stuff, and that's my biggest gripe. Like I got buddies, good buddies that are like, oh man, bow season's coming up, and I joke with them because I'm like, yeah, you're gonna bow hunt till rifle season comes in, and then what are you gonna do? Put the bow down, and pick up the gun, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, dude, you're making it. Do you not like the challenge? Like, do you is it too hard? Do you not like the heat? Like, what's going on here? And they're gonna listen to this and they're gonna know who I'm talking about. And I'm gonna catch some hell for it, but I say the same thing to them I'm saying to you right now. Like, I live for the hot evenings with gnats and mosquitoes and all of that because I know that you've got food out. This deer has been running through the area. He could very well show up, and then you start your season off great, and you're just kind of going through it like, dude, I already killed one of the bucks I've been after all year. Now what's going to happen? It kind of frees you up a little bit. So.
Yeah, I have like a early November to first week of December where I've been killing a lot of my deer up here, and it's whenever they get them crops out the ground and the corn's actually okay. Hey, I need to eat.
Yeah.
Where's the corn at? And they go find it. That's the majority of them. A lot of my bucks, I have 5 or 6 on camera right now that it might turn into something really nice, and then it's been like that for the past 4 or 5 years, and they disappear right when hunting season comes in. Everybody's last minute in the woods trying to fix up stuff, and it jumps them off what their pattern is, and they go to them other patterns, and it's just whenever they come back. Yeah, like last year, the last 2 years, I've had the only buck I've wanted to kill at one of these properties. I've had him. This is my 6th season of hunting him. I say hunting him. This is my 4th year of really interested in him. I'm my 3rd year hunting him, but I've had him for 6 now. And the first year I really wanted to harvest him, he broke everything off.
Jeez.
And I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. Like everything was halved or completely broken. And then the second year I really wanted to, he broke his brow tines and his G2 off. Well, last year was the 3rd one, and I was like, okay, I'm really targeting him. Like that's my number one. I'm gonna hunt him hard on the right winds, whatever. I seen him the weekend before opening day of archery. I mean, hard horned, just outside the ears, way up on top of his head. And then the next picture I got of him was the weekend after deer season.
Dang.
Yeah.
God, dude, I hate when they do that.
I mean, I hunted them hard on that property just in case, because I like the cameras. I like them letting me know what's going on. But at the same time, those big bucks don't get big for no reason.
Dude, I have this theory that actually pretty much got confirmed through the Southern Outdoorsman guys. They had a guy on, some deer biologist from Alabama, and he was talking about like what deer do. Like, and the title of the episode was "Why Did Deer Disappear When You Start Hunting?" And he went through all this other stuff, and what he said honestly stressed me out a bit because I've only got 2 main private spots, and then I've got public and stuff. Which public, I'm not even worried about. I have no cameras running. I'm not worried about.
You just go.
I'm just gonna go, and I know what could show up. Doesn't mean I know what's gonna show up. But he was talking about how when deer start feeling pressure, man, they will stick to a single core area and not leave it. And there was a buck that they had that had a 10-mile long area, right? Like, I guess fall area or wherever he was at. But what was crazy is it was 10 miles long and only a quarter mile wide. And he was saying that the reason that was because on one side of the fence, it was along a fence row. On one side of the fence, it was a hunting club that had a lot of people in it. On the other side of the fence where this deer was living, out of the woods was it's a military property. And so they're running drills and they're doing all this stuff. And he was saying that this deer never left that tract of woods. He would always just go up and then come back and just stay in all of that. And I've always thought to myself, like, there's got to be just not even take the seek one stuff out of it, right? But in our areas, right, there's got to be some deer that are so old and so smart that know how to avoid people and they just grow gigantic. And people see them from time to time, but all it takes is one time that someone goes into wherever this deer's at and they're gone. They don't come back. And so, like, I was telling my buddies, I'm like, I'm convinced that in Georgia alone, in each county, there probably is 180, 200-inch deer. Just one, but there probably is something like that because they're just so smart that they never get hunted. Some of them slip up, most of them never do. So
I had a guy, he reached out to me to go track a deer for him 2 years ago. And we went out there and he was like, hey, I shot a 150-inch. This is what he looks like. Here's a picture of him. And I'm like, all right, cool, perfect. And we start tracking this deer. And I'm just talking to him about the property and whatnot. And he's like, yeah, no, I think there's this one and there's two others, and they're all about the same size. And I'm like, those are the biggest ones you got out here? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, I'm glad we're on this path trying to find them.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, okay. So we get, I don't know, 300-400 yards in there, and we jump an absolute just monster. And I'm looking at him, and that deer stopped, and I hit it with my light, and he looked at me with his mouth wide open, and I'm like, that's bigger than any deer you just showed me. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, that's the biggest deer I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, well, I know where he's at, but
I'm telling you, man.
he never got to catch up with that deer, and we ended up finding his big buck. And
Yeah.
but
Was he a little disappointed when he walked up on that and was like, dang, I had this?
no, he was excited because he thought he had killed his biggest buck and that he was going to be done hunting for the year. And then he was like, well, now I have something else to chase. And I'm like, hey, get him.
I'm telling you, dude, these old big giant bucks are like Bigfoot. You get a glimpse and then that's it. Sometimes, I mean, hell, they may not even actually exist. It's just one of those things that, like, you hear about, but you never really see them. And some people will, and sometimes they get killed, sometimes they don't. Like the Billy Joe Paget buck. I mean, that's the state record, 248 inches. That just goes to show that a deer like that can grow here. It can grow in Georgia.
They can grow. It's a lot of like the guy was saying, like you were saying, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna pressure that deer, he's gonna move on, and he's gonna find a spot where it's just not getting pressure.
Mm-hmm.
He's just gonna sit in there and sit in there. But eventually, that deer's got to go out and find the doe once in a while. And
yeah,
you just got to be there, right place, right time. Honestly.
Yeah, that's the tough part, man. And that's, I think that's why I feel a little bit more pressure this season because I understand it now. I've always said, oh, I don't want to overpressure them. And then it's deer season. I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll just walk a little slower, a little quieter, right? And then you start off good. You see, 15, 20 deer sit, and then it's 10, and then it's 5, and then it's 1. And then you're like not seeing anything, and you still have 2 months of season left. And you're like, God, what do I do? So I'm not gonna lie, I was very stressed out about that this morning because it finally hit me that it's like I'm not gonna be hunting as much as I usually do. But thankfully I have 3 pieces of public around me that I can go hit. I talked to them today, and they told me about a 200-acre piece that I could hunt. And I was like, oh, y'all just open the door, man. Y'all have no idea. So I've got a camera I gotta go put out over there. But yeah, man, it's insane what pressure does. That's, I guess, kind of what I was getting at with that. But look, so I want to talk about the Bowhunting League. All right. We've gotten the fun deer stuff. We'll get you back on to just talk deer. All right. But what, for those who don't know what the league is, give us the rundown. What's the giveaways? What's the what is it? The contests that we have every week. I know there's shoots that people do. And I guess what is the incentive for somebody who's like not in the league yet but thinking about joining?
So the Bowhunting League is just a friendly contest that absolutely costs $0, and it's basically bringing a bunch of bow hunters together and showing that competitive nature, like we've already talked about. At the same time, enjoying the little things about the outdoors and bow hunting in general. So you're gonna get your 3-man team. You're gonna sign up. Right when you sign up, I mean, I've got a buddy who's got 2 guys on his team. One's from Missouri and the other one's from Tennessee. You don't have to be in the same state as your team. So once you sign up, you automatically start getting put in for these giveaways, tacticams, fletchings, shoot, really, there's so much. You
A
got
lot
like
of stuff.
apparel, like Bowhunting League apparel. There's going to be some of our sponsors are donating hats and shirts, koozies, just to give away to people, to get their name out there for one, but to also give back to the league. And that's one of the big things about it. But in general, I mean, if you think you want to do it, there's no reason that you shouldn't. If you have any doubt about any negativity that might happen because you don't shoot the biggest deer, if you don't think you're going to kill a deer, there's a 50,000 people in this group that one person can say, "Hey, why don't you come hunt with me if you're in the area?" And that right there will start your friendship, and you'll end up hunting with that guy for the rest of your life. You guys will share memories and so on and so forth. As far as like some of the shoots the Ben's been posting, the one-shot challenges. I suck at one-shot challenges. I'm gonna have to warm up for an hour before I even think about it, pretty much.
Hey, dude, Adam's been blowing my phone up every week. Like, man, you gonna do the challenge? I'm like, no, I don't have the time. I want to. Don't get me wrong, I want to do it, but he's like, oh, come on, man, it's one shot. I'm like, dude, I have no way of filming it. I literally do not have time. And like my daughter's about to start volleyball, so it's like I'm really not gonna have time. And it's just like it really sucks because I want to do it so bad. But the thing is too, I haven't been shooting as much as I should, so I might embarrass myself and be like 40 yards, hit a tree.
The roll your dice challenge, the first one we did, I wasn't gonna do it just because I ain't been shooting and I've been doing other things around it.
Yeah.
But I had a buddy of mine and my wife. They're like, "Hey, we need to shoot," and I'm like, "All right, y'all want to shoot? We'll shoot." And my wife, poor Annie, man, she she rolled like a 44. And she only has like a 30-yard pin right now.
Oh, jeez.
So I told her, I was like, just aim up. It is what it is. So she hits the ground before the target. I roll like a 45, 46. And it was so dark out you couldn't see it. I shot and missed the target and hit the target, the background target. And my buddy, he pulls a 23 and he's like 3 or 4 inches off of it. And I'm like, couldn't get any closer. You're trying to represent us here, bud.
Yeah.
But that the one shot stuff is just kind of it's like a little competitive nature before season, just to kind of get you tuned in. There's a lot of people that do it. Some of the contests are a little difficult for some, like the team contest and going to your pro shop and shooting and all stuff like that. But it's like I said, at the end of the day, it's always free.
Yeah.
You can do
so
it.
what's the rules that people need to follow on this stuff? Because I know it's $2 per guy on the team, right? Or no, it's
you can have unlimited upgrades.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking of our tag system. That's
that's our tag system. So you can do unlimited upgrades no matter what. If me, you, and Annie are on a team, and you shoot 100-inch deer, I shoot 100-inch deer, and she shoots 100-inch deer, our team total is 300.
Yep.
Our KOT, which is King of Tines, is 100 per person.
Okay.
But if I go out and shoot a 200 and y'all don't shoot nothing else, then our KOT, or for me, my King of Tines would go up to 300 because it adds both my bucks together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure, and you get up to like $5 on the King of Tines.
Dang.
And you can, like I said, it's unlimited upgrades. So you get $5 that are all 100 inches, and then you shoot a 150. It'll take out one of those 100.
Got it.
But for your team score, it's the biggest buck from each teammate. You're only one biggest buck for each teammate with unlimited
Okay. So I need to go to Iowa. That's what you're saying, or South Georgia,
I was thinking more like a deer farm, but
or that.
you just got to release it. It can't be high fence. No high fence.
No, I'll just do what that guy in Wisconsin did. I'll kill it, and then just be like, oh yeah, this was free range, and then, or I'll go to my buddy's taxidermy shop and be like, hey, you got any old sheds or anything, or you want to take this deer back here and just add like 100 inches to it?
Yeah,
be like,
until you have to go into the photo submissions.
Yeah.
The
AI
photo
is a beautiful thing though. AI and
It
Photoshop,
is.
put those together,
It is.
I could pull it off.
It is.
Listen, if Mitch Rompola could make a deer like that and fool people for 30 years, I think with the technology we have now, I could probably pull it off.
I don't think you're going to get it past Ben.
Damn, yeah, because he's going to listen to this. Ben, it's legit, I promise.
Ben, go ahead and flag his team already.
Yeah, he's going to send me a text. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't even try it. I'm like, okay. If you need me to X-ray it, I will. But
So the rules of the contest, which it's easily forgotten, but the biggest rule is to make sure you take a picture with the full deer with your bow.
mm-hmm.
One of my
So
teammates.
Don't do what I just said.
Yes. One of my teammates, Planter's old sponsor out here in Fitzgerald, Johnny Wilson. He done shot his 160 last year and they had to wait to go find it. And he went out there and took all these pictures and didn't put his bow in it. And I was like, oh my gosh, we can't even use it now. He's like, oh well. And I'm like, all right, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But so the rules pretty much are, you got 48 hours to recover that deer. And then you have to have it entered into the league in 10 days.
Okay.
So, whenever you go and find it, if it takes you that long, just make that's when you found it. You got 10 days to do all your pictures and entering it in.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to score it. If you don't know how to score it, they make YouTube tutorials, or I'm pretty sure you probably have, or anybody has a good buddy that's done it before, and try to do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah. I just get my taxidermist to do mine. He's got some Pope and Young score that he knows that I guess maybe he used to be Pope and Young, because when I got my score sheet, it was a piece of paper they tore off and just wrote everything on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I feel like a lot of taxidermists will do it. So like the guys that are shooting these bucks that they want to get mounted, I'm sure they could just be like, hey, can you score this for me real quick? The problem is it takes so long.
We threw a tape on. I mean, it takes some time, but it's not like you're sitting there for an hour.
Well, no, I mean sometimes like the taxidermist.
Oh, just take.
Hey, can you score it? Yeah, you get it back a month later, and it's too late at that point.
Yeah. But you're gonna have to, you're gonna end up needing that score sheet, because you will have to post it. It'll have a tab where it says add score sheet, and you post your picture of the score sheet.
Yeah.
And then you post a picture of your deer, obviously. Absolutely no high fence. 0.
Man, why are you gonna do me like that?
Well,
I'm just kidding. Look, I'll take the tag out of its ear, okay? No one.
I don't even want to shoot a high fence deer. And then don't get me wrong, there's places that are 50, 60,000 acres of high fence, and you never see the other side of it.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to go there. But now, if you post all these pictures and you post the pictures you need, there's some of the admins that can request they'll message you on the side or something and just say, hey, do you mind sending me some more pictures of this? Because I don't think this is right. And then you'll go from there. That's out of my way above my pay grade right there. And obviously, whitetails are 99% of what we kill. However, mule deer, blacktails, and coos can be entered, which is pretty cool, because some of these guys that are like way out west, like that do this mule deer, that's what they do thick and thin. That's what they do. They don't get in the league because they always think it's all these whitetail guys.
Mm-hmm.
Them, you kill mule deer.
Aren't there not deductions, but like I guess deductions is the best way to put it. Like you take like a 100-inch whitetail and then a 110-inch muley. Aren't
Yeah,
they?
so I'm pretty sure the scores. I want to say the mule deer is uh like a minus 20 inches, and
Why
then
is that?
I don't know. I I ain't read that far into it.
Yeah. I
I ain't
mean,
never.
so like the way that I look at it with that is like, and this is just my own head canon, it's my own, opinion, I guess. But it makes sense because muleys do get bigger than
Yeah, I
whitetails.
mean
The world
they probably
record,
average out bigger.
yeah, like the world record mule deer is 355 inches, and the world record whitetail is 327. So you're talking about a 25-inch difference,
Yeah,
So I mean, I went to Colorado in January and saw 270-inch muleys that were still holding. I thought they were 200 inches, but then I looked up like 200-inch muleys and like, nah, they weren't that big. But you look at 170-inch whitetail, you can kind of tell, all right, that's what that is. But 170-inch muley looks like a 200-inch muley. It looks
and,
like their size on those racks at 170. If you look at, you compare the two, that's a 200-inch whitetail rack. It's just the way that they're scored and
they're
grown and
set
all that other
up.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot
Um,
different.
the blacktail gets 20 inches added to it, and the coos gets 40 inches added to it.
What about
Uh,
key deer? Let a no go? No? Okay.
That's no go.
I'm just kidding. Dude, me and my buddies make that joke all the time. Like my buddy Brock, he's gonna hate that I brought this up, but he was in Key West like a year ago. And or no, you know what? It wasn't a year ago, it was this past January. And he sent me photos of a key deer buck, and I was like, kill it. Like, obviously, you're not going to, right? So now every single time we talk about it, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna go to Florida and kill me a world record key deer. And I'm like,
They got him. They got him.
they got him. I was like, but are you really willing to go to prison for that?
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think take that to a tax service, bud.
Yeah, just say it was a midget deer. That's all you got to say.
So back to the King of Tines.
Yeah,
I know I
explain that
forgot
a
to
little
say
bit.
it. Well, I know I forgot to say it the last time I talked about it. So you get your $5, and whatever your five, if you shoot six, your top five get taken in the total. Whatever your total is, that's your King of Tines, and there's huge prizes for that at the end of the year, which I don't know exactly what is going to be dedicated to that area this year. But one of those bucks can be outfitted hunts. So you can't go on 5 outfitted hunts and kill 5 outfitted deer for your King of Tines.
Okay.
Which it's not really a big point for our bow hunt league. I don't know if you have ever looked into it or not with some of the posts, but I think there was like 15 to 20 bucks that got killed by outfitters. Everything else was private or public.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm always one of those guys that kill one of the outfitters.
So what do you do if like, and I'm not, it's hypothetical, but say I've got an outfitted hunt for muleys this year, and then I kill, I don't know, like the King of Time stuff. If I go and kill 4 bucks all by myself, but I kill one outfitted muley that's like 200 something.
Then you minus the 20 inches, and it is what it is.
That's it. Okay.
I mean
that. So that part doesn't really matter.
No, it's just one entry for your King of Tines can be an outfitted hunt.
Got it.
It's pretty much what it's saying.
What if you have, okay, so if you've got a guy that does a whitetail outfit and a muley outfit, you can only add one of those in?
I would say that they're going to take the bigger outfitted hunt.
Got it.
But you can't have both.
Got it. Okay. I'm just thinking of questions, man, because like I know I'm not doing this, but I know some guys in the league. There's 50,000 people. Someone's going to do that.
Someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
And
so if they hear it, I want them to know, like, hey, can't do both. So,
but so back to the pictures and stuff. I mean, you're getting just make sure I'm stressing that because it happened to me. Bow and deer. And then no caped out pictures, no head onlys, no skin carcass, no nothing. It's got to be a full something you're going to post on Facebook. Is how I explained it to some folks.
So hypothetically, again, if you shoot a buck, right, and it's still within season that you find it, and because I'm thinking of like Austin from Working Class, how he had that one buck that coyotes got to. What if you shoot a buck, can't find it, don't say anything to anybody, right? Or maybe post about it, like I shot this deer, can't find it, whatever. And then like a month later, you're just walking through scouting, or maybe you're looking for another deer and you come across it. Would that work? Could you enter that or no?
I think there's telltale signs that it's been sitting. I think if you were to lose a buck and, and this is all based on a free contest that if you lie to win, said words. But I think there's telltale signs.
Okay.
If someone was to walk up on a deer that they shot in early season and they found it during the rut, hunting a new spot, there's not going to be no fresh meat on that. There's not. Everything's going to be rotted off or decaying, and it's
there's just no way to prove that you shot it.
Yeah, there's no way to prove anything.
Got it. That's what I was thinking, because I'm thinking, like, say you gut shoot a deer and you just don't find him. You come back a month later and you find him, but he's just skeleton now. And like, oh, I shot that buck back in September, but there's really, unless you've got the broadhead in the shoulder or something, like, I know I said gut shot, but let's just say hypothetically that broadhead and arrow stuck in him, or it's sitting there. I'm just trying to think of a way.
Well, that goes back to that whole trying to think of the word of said words about trust and doing the right thing for the league, because you do only get the 48 hours to recover that deer.
Got it. Okay, so that covers that then.
Yeah. Okay,
that makes sense. Got it. I thought of it and was like, I know someone's going to probably deal with this too, so I want to cover that. What is, for those who don't know, tell us about the meat wagon. What are we looking at this year?
Oh man, well, I was a little upset because I shot 2 bucks last year and I have my name in it, entered twice into the meat wagon, and I didn't win it at all. And I was a little upset because I needed it.
Yeah.
But the meat wagon, if you were to enter a buck, we'll say we're last year, if you shoot a spike and you entered it and your score come out to 5, and somebody shoots a 250-inch deer somewhere else, you guys are both entered to win the meat wagon, which was a Jeep XJ that was going to be given away by Ben and the Bowhunting League staff with our national sponsors logos on it. And I think it got some new tires on it as well from one of our sponsors.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was tuned up, ready to go. I think they delivered it or going to be delivering it here shortly. But yeah, I mean, he shoots a deer and he got entered for a brand new hunting truck and won it. Kind of jealous, to be honest with you. I'm actually getting tired of putting my name in these contests for giveaways and prizes because I just never win. I'm gonna have to
tell him to ring it up a bit.
Ben, put a bunch of Kyle Cushers around the board. Yeah, do it real fast. Nobody sees it.
That's funny. Yeah, I remember thinking the same thing, where I just wanted the shirt. And what's bad is I had opportunities at smaller bucks, but I've been so picky the past few years. Like I've had this. I said it last week, and I think I said it the week before too. I may shoot a spike this year, just because I haven't shot a buck in 3 years, and like it. Some people will hear that and judge that, but I'm still gonna eat him.
Our shirts this year are gonna be sick.
Oh, dude.
I'm just gonna tell you now. So shoot the spike. If you don't shoot nothing else, make sure you shoot a spike.
Got it. I can think of about 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Right now.
they're gonna be real sweet this year.
They're gonna get it. No, I feel like the spike, like shooting a spike, every single person almost that I've had on this podcast, this is the 138th episode. So 138 episodes. It's probably like 135, right? Because the first couple were just me, but Dude, every single one of them's like, yeah, my first buck was a spike, or I shot a spike and I did this. And I'm like, maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe I just need to shoot a goat in the woods, bring it home, have a skull mount, and then things will start rolling. I don't know, but um, I definitely have thought about it. I've thought about popping my spike cherry and just letting it rip because I dude, that right there would be
I've
so
never
easy.
shot a spike before.
You haven't?
Never in my life.
Oh well, then okay, then maybe I won't. Just because I mean you've killed some solid deer. I can see them behind you, so maybe I don't need to worry about
Something
it.
like that.
Oh man,
That was my honeymoon buck behind us.
honeymoon buck.
Yeah, I got
Oh dude,
married to
what's the
my
story
wife.
on that?
I got married to my wife. I told her, I said, we're not having a wedding in during deer season. And I mean, September 30th, that's when she wanted to get married.
Hey, we got married September 1st, so I feel you.
September 30th, she wanted to get married. So we got married, and I told her the only way I'm getting married September 30th. Oh, our honeymoon is going to be somewhere away from here with deer on it. So we decided to go to an outfitter for our honeymoon, and I killed that 140 inch 9 point.
Dude, is
And
that a chocolate rack behind you?
I don't
Looks
necessarily
like
think
it.
I don't necessarily think it's a chocolate. I sent you that one, and
Yeah.
he looks like it, but I'm not considering it chocolate.
God, I
I
love that
consider
split.
chocolate racks like those real deep dark browns that come from
Yeah.
Texas, stuff like that.
Like a Canadian Alberta deer. I got you.
Yeah. Um,
That's sick, dude.
but
Sorry, I can't stop looking at them.
I just I told her that, and she was like, "I'm in."
Dude, you got a good one. You
She's
got a good one.
she's way above good.
You got a great one.
Yes,
An angel. An
that's still
angel.
underneath it a little bit, but I'll let her eat that one for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm kicking myself now, man, because like I didn't start hunting till 2 months or no, a month after me and my wife got married. Like I was already looking at doing it, but oh my God. Sorry. ADD. But yeah, man, and like she didn't know how heavy I was gonna get into it. And I I had told her before, like my top of the list on the bucket list is to go caribou hunting.
uh-huh.
But caribou season is in August and early September. And my wife's birthday is August 22nd. My daughter's birthday is August 15th, and our anniversary is September 1st. So I told her, I'm like, one of these years, probably a while from now, I'm going to be gone. And she's like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, no, no. This is the only thing. I'm going to be gone. Everything else, we can work around it. But I will be gone 1 year because of an Alaska hunt. So,
So not only do you have a great, I mean, she's a little more got the whip tightened up
oh
now.
yeah.
It's there, but she lets you go. She doesn't complain, and she's wanting to go. I mean, what else can you
Oh,
ask
I'm blessed, dude. Don't if I see if, and I've said this before, you've probably heard it, but like the whole reason I started this podcast was to, in a sense, honestly, save my marriage because I got deep in it. I was talking to her about deer hunting all the time. I'd show her pictures, I'd ask her opinion. And we went from her on the day that I killed this buck over here. You can't see him, but I killed this deer I called a prayer buck. Biggest deer up to that point for me, right? We got into a huge argument because I just was not caring. I put everything off. I put everything to the side and I only cared about hunting. And from that to where we're at now, podcast has acted like kind of a form of therapy, I guess, for me to get it
me?
out.
You
But
can
we're
talk to other people instead of talking to her.
exactly. And we've gotten to the point now that she just named one of my bucks Elmer Fudd.
Oh, that's her buck. That's little do you know that is
She
her buck.
won't, she can't hunt there.
Oh no.
Uh-huh. He's a double split G2 12, potentially 13 point that I've shown you pictures. You've seen him. I
Yeah,
mean,
you sent it to me.
whew, boy. But anyway, back to the league. We're getting off topic here.
Wow,
But
that's what I was actually leaning towards the league with my wife. So she's never shot a bow before. My brother-in-law, that's all he does is bow hunt. She was a rifle hunter, and then I told her, I said, well, "Why don't you bow hunt with me?" And this was now when we got engaged till we got married. Like that whole when we got engaged, and she said, "I want to have the wedding this day." I said, "Well, we're gonna go on a hunt." and that's archery season. It was when she said, "Well, I need a bow if I'm gonna go." So we went out and bought her a bow, and then she was like, "Well, I want to sign up for the league too." And then she got an all women's team, and I can't tell you. I mean, I wish I had a video of her face when she got to enter that doe that she killed in Ohio. She had a chance at her buck, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
She didn't get to shoot at it. But I'm telling you, we went and found this doe at the bottom of this lip. Like, I mean, the hill was like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Big valley. And we got to the doe, and she's like, "I have your phone." I'm like, "For what?" She's like, "I want to enter my doe." I'm like, "We ain't even took pictures yet, dude. Chill." Like, she was like ready to enter it. And I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's going to be cool. I mean, my wife posting on the league saying she killed a deer, and I can't wait to see all the people. And I mean, it was nonstop. Congratulations. Everybody knew it was her first bow kill. And everybody was just, and now I wish she was here right now. I'd call her in here and be like, "Hey, you want to take the gun out and go shoot one with a rifle this year?" And she's like, "Heck no."
Yep.
She will not shoot a rifle.
She's got that bug, man. I'm telling you, bow hunting is I'll never. Well, yeah, I'll say it. I'll probably never hunt with a rifle again, to be honest. It's I got nothing against it. I don't judge people that do it, right? But it's just I love the challenge, knowing that if I make a mistake, I may not get the deer that I've been after the whole time. And that stress sucks, but it just makes you want to get better, which is another thing with the league, man. You got guys in there that push you to do better. And that's important. We need that. Like, if it was all complacent, it's like, "Oh yeah, man, you're fine. Don't shoot your bow till, a week before season. You're good." There'd be so many like wounded
deer walking around.
Yeah. So it's oh man, I love it. So all right, let's see. We did the rules. What partners are there this year? I know Osteo is partnered up again, which is awesome.
I actually got to go buy some camo from them. I'm glad you said something because it reminded me of it.
Well, if you could, when you come to the bow shoot, you have an option or a chance to potentially win a $300 e-gift card from Osteo.
I don't plan on winning. To be honest with you, my wife's gonna outshoot me. So we got like Tacticam. Tacticam is a big one, and I don't know if but I know you're a Moultrie guy. But they got that live feed camera that just come out of the Ultra. It's pretty cool.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they got they call. I think it's pretty sure it's called the Ultra. It's just a live feed, and it's got a backup battery in it, and obviously it's got the GPS. And somebody steals it. HHA,
nice.
They're in it. G3D's in it. Out on a Limb, Working Class Bow Hunters. Stealth Outdoors up on the mountain, the Amsteel guy. We did pick up a blind guy this year.
Like blind, like you can't see, or
yeah. Well, he's seen his future because he picked a real good company to buy. Elite Hunting Blinds.
Oh, that okay. I'm sorry, you said that. I'm like, Bowhunting League is not only productive; it's also inclusive.
Yeah. No.
All right.
And then you got like Zinger Fletchings, and there's a handful more that are on there, but they make a lot of this worth it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So
always
what else are we missing?
Could talk about the sponsorship program since you're a new sponsor.
Yes. Okay. See, I'm glad you reminded me of that. So yeah, let everybody know what the sponsorship program is. For those who don't know, I recently, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, became a state sponsor. What does that entail for the people that don't know what it is?
So if you're looking for a way to give back to the league, I've had a few guys want to sign up that they don't have a business, they don't know anybody that wants to do it, but they like what we're doing and they just want to give back to it. So you got those people, and you got small businesses, which we really push for small businesses, not because we don't care about the bigger companies, but we love seeing the small guy win.
Yeah.
People who work their normal jobs throughout the day and then have to get off and do something in the evening to not only is it a hobby to them, but it's a small business for everybody else. Exactly. Um, we really push to get them as signups as a sponsor. So sponsorship it's $100 a year, and that entails is you're going to be put on the back of, so like you're in Georgia, everybody who shoots a buck and enters in Georgia is going to get a T-shirt that is going to have the state of Georgia on the back. It's going to have all of our national sponsors on the outside, like a border, and then it's going to have all of our Georgia sponsors down the middle of the shirt.
Dang.
And I mean, that's walking advertisement
I'm
for
totally
however long
shooting a
they.
spike now.
Yeah, I'm
No
telling you.
doubt.
I
I'll
told you,
burn a tag on a
Start's
spike.
going to be sick this year. You're going to get a banner that's personalized.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which,
Yeah.
where is it?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
you're not getting
I'm joking.
So I think our banner guy ran out of ink. We had so many sponsors sign up at one time, so he's starting to catch back up.
It's fine.
We actually, I don't know if I'm really supposed to be saying this or not, but Ben, I'm sorry if I'm not. Ben just did a whole bunch of promo videos for all the businesses with like the ones that we have the banners for right now that he just got. He went and did like a shoot for each one of them specifically for them.
Wow.
It was pretty cool. He was sending us little like pictures of them and him in front of the camera and everything. So it's nice. Everything's falling in line finally.
So like explain like what's on the banner. Is it just like Bowhunting League and then the sponsor, or is it sponsor and then Bowhunting? I mean, like what can the people who are like I guess involved in this expect to see on that?
So it's gonna be just it's a smaller banner. It's not like one of those ones you're gonna see on the interstate on someone's fence. But it's just going to be a banner that you can hang up. You can actually, it's going to be mobile. You roll it up, stick it behind your seat, and then wherever you want to take a picture with it, take a picture with it, tag us. It's going to have Bowhunting League, and then it's going to have your business name. Nice. And then you tag us on Instagram, and we're going to share it to our stories. I know if I've told everybody that has dealt with me that if they tag us on Facebook or anything like that I will, if they tag me, I'll share it. Or if I see any other post, I'll share it. Just kind of helping out because I support people who support me. And the banner is just an easier way to be able to push our sponsors out to all of our contestants. When you do sign up, you're going to get a 50-mile radius on our interactive map that is located on our sweet website. It's all the way at the bottom. You'll click on it and you'll see all these little tabs. You can actually click. There's a tab on it. You can click and it'll tell you like taxidermists, processors, feed stores, outdoor stores, pro shops. It'll have them all in different colors, and that way you'll be able to really pinpoint what you're looking for. And they're all over. We're still working on the muley guys out there, but anywhere Midwest to down to Florida, all the way up to Pennsylvania, even past that, there's sponsors. Map's getting full. Yeah. In the heavy dose of places. So when this drops, if you want to be a sponsor, you might want to get on the horn with me as fast as you can. Because there's no telling how fast those 50 miles are going to get filled up.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking like when you said that, because I've got my local shop. I was going to make a joke and be like, you hear that, Ace? This is my area. But I'm not going to do that because.
Well, see, so how it works is you're a podcast.
Yeah.
So we can add them as a pro shop in your 50 miles because they're not a competitor to you.
That is true. We definitely need to do that because they, I push them every week. And I mean, those are my boys, dude. They know if they listen to this and they hear me say that, they know it's all love. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that though. It's like, what do you do? If you've got like me here and then someone else, in the next town over also maybe a podcast.
So those 50 miles around you is basically where no competitors to you could be in.
Got it.
And you put it.
So you can still have like the podcast and then you can have, someone who maybe has like an outdoor show
put a
or
pro
a pro
shop.
shop. Yeah.
I
Okay.
won't put it. I won't put an outdoor show on you. I'll tell you that.
Got it.
It's, at the end of the day, it's social media,
True.
and I wouldn't ever push that on you. But pro shop, feed store, taxidermist, podcast, any other smaller business. I got a Planters Oil right here in Fitzgerald. I got my father-in-law's Osceola Meat Market. I got my pest control guy, Southland. um, I got right here in my hometown. There's like 9 of them,
Jeez.
but none of them are at each other. So we can definitely get with your pro shop guys.
Yeah. I mean, I can send it over hell tonight if I needed to.
That'll work.
Yeah, dude.
So trying to think here.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing something,
We're missing.
but I don't know what. Oh, you wanted to talk about the bow shoot coming up this week.
No, I don't want to talk about that. I ain't going.
Okay, fine. I mean, I just might as well shut it down then. I'll I'll call all the sponsors like, hey guys, thanks for all the gear.
Kyle's not coming. Shut it down.
Yeah, Wells, I'm gonna keep that e-gift card. Here's my email. I'll just let them know. Like, sorry guys.
Tell me what exactly you got going on this weekend, because I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
And I'm hopping out of the truck, one arrow knocked, shooting a bullseye from wherever I get out of the truck at.
You might not be able to.
I'll walk a few yards, but
I'll say the way the parking is, I don't know. But all right, so here's I guess the rundown. So for the podcast bow shoot, it's going to be at Charlie Elliott Archery Range in Mansfield, Georgia.
Now is that called something else?
Yeah, so it's kind of confusing. Even for the DNR guy, that's my buddy up there that helped me put all this together. The past couple of years, we were discussing hunting areas, right? So you've got Clybell WMA, and then you've got Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center. They're basically the same thing, but there's things that are sectioned off. Like if you look up Clybell WMA Archery Range, it doesn't come up. But if you look up Charlie Elliott Archery Range, it does come up.
So be sure to look up the Charlie Elliott.
Right? Yeah, well, and if you put in Clybell WMA, it'll take you. It's kind of a big horseshoe, right? Now, for people who've never been there, it's going to be very difficult if they go in the back entrance, which I've
never been there.
So you just want to type in Charlie Elliott Wildlife Center, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. They've got signs that say like archery range and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing as like the Bowhunting League. It's free to go in. I got the idea from Kurt when they started doing their shoot, so I try to model it off of that a little bit. You don't have to pay anything, and we've got giveaways, from like G5, Osseo, Summit, Moultrie, a couple local people, you guys. God, who else? Victory. I mean, we've got all the mainframe partners, most of them, that are doing giveaways. Ace, the local shop, is giving away stuff, and we're just going to shoot. I mean, it's literally, we show up, we wait for everybody to get there. Once everyone shows up, we all come together, we say a quick prayer, and then we just go out on the 32 or 30 target course, and we go shoot. And there's no score. The one thing I wanted to change this year with it is that last year and the year before, we didn't do any sort of moving targets. Some of the targets are legitimately 10 yards, and you're like, I'm going to skip this because it's too easy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I talked with my buddy at DNR, and we walked the entire course, and I said, I'll come out. I was like, I'll come out the day before. I'll come out a couple days before. I want to move some of this stuff to make it more like tack, where you're going to have, and we may have extra targets that they put out. I need to get with him and talk to him about that. But basically what we're doing is we're taking the course as it is, and we're moving stuff around. Now last year, I gave away a tree stand that I had to a kid who shot 100 yards in the 12 ring twice. And it was supposed to just be, whoever hits the 12 ring first, out of the whole group of guys. But two kids, legitimately kids. One kid had a great setup, not a dialed sight, but like a roller sight, slider sight, whatever. Then the next kid just had a fixed pin sight that he'd guessed, and he just shot it. And he was that good. and hit 100 yards, 12 ring. So then we had a shoot off for that, and the winner of that won the stand. This year, I'm not doing that. I'm doing away with that. It's going to be everything that we give away that's like a big ticket item, like the tree stand, I think the Osseo gift card, and then maybe the Moultrie camera. I haven't decided on that yet. Those are for sure going to be given away with tickets. But I'm gonna sort of go through everything. I don't have that ironed out just yet, but I know for sure the tree stand and the gift card are gonna be. I've got a ticket, like a roll of tickets that everyone's gonna get a ticket at the beginning, and then, sorry, my wife's calling me. I'll call her back. We're gonna get the roll of tickets. We're gonna go through, and I'll just say, "Hey, number 10039," and they come up and they can pick something. So it'll yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun, dude. It's kind of the same thing. You don't have to pay anything. All you got to do is pay for gas, and if I could pay for that for everyone, I would. But
is that course out there? It's just like a 3D course that's spread out throughout the whole entire area, or?
Yeah, so it's a trail so the layout is you go to the parking area. On your left side, if you're looking at the woods, on your left side, they have four bag targets that you can like sight in. You can make sure your stuff is still good, shoot out to 40 yards, you're fine. Then on the right side, which I don't know if it's going to be ready or not by next week, or by this week. Oops. Basically, when the shoot happens, I don't know if it's going to be ready. They used to have this platform that you could shoot down at 3 or 4 different 3D targets. But the main course we're going to be on is there is a paved walkway up to the power lines where you have 3 or 4, 20, 30 yard 3D targets. And then you go off to the right and you actually go through the woods. They have a trail cut out where you go all the way around the lake, and they've got targets every 20, 30, 40 yards. I know the farthest shot that's an official shot is 70 yards on an elk, but we always push it back to 100, 110, and we just send them. So yeah, I mean, it's just a local 3D range that you can literally go to for free anytime. So I wanted to get DNR involved because, they've been helping out, and they are going to have the whole course just completely sectioned off for us. Starts at 9 a.m. So we're just going to go until we're done. And then, yeah, I try to make it simple. I want it to be a good time for people, and they're not having to worry like, do I need to pay $20 to get in? No, I'm never going to charge somebody to come to those events.
And it's on the 13th, right?
Yep. It is on the 13th. It is, yes, it's on a Sunday.
Okay. I wonder, I think I got a buddy of mine. He just got 6 new arrows. I only got 7 or 8 left anyways.
Yeah. I'm going to be running 5. Make sure your stuff's dialed in though, because like some of the shots I intentionally made it to where people will lose arrows.
Oh geez, you're a nice guy.
Hey, it's to make you better. That's the whole point. Like, when you go to TAC,
to come out and hang out.
Well, yeah, that too, but we're competitive over here.
I hear you.
It's not gonna be that bad. Like, there was one I can think of. It right now is a 30. Oh, God, I can almost tell you every single target because I've shot it so much, but I think it's like a 32 or 35 yard bear, and behind it is like this little hill that if you miss, your arrow is going to go into it. Well, there's also 2 sapling trees that are about 4 or 5, maybe 6 inches around. And I was telling my buddy Thomas at DNR, I'm like, dude, you know what we could do? Take that bear, move it back 20, 30 yards, have the vitals be right between those trees.
Shoot the trees, great.
And just send it. And he was like, yeah, that's a great idea. And he's Irish, so he's kind of got a little bit of that. Yeah, he's awesome, dude. I love that guy. He's gonna be there? I believe he's gonna be there. So, dang. And I'm trying. I need to reach out and verify this. This isn't. I won't know until I know, and once I know, I'll tell everybody. But I did reach out to Michael Pitts to see if he'll come out and hang out and shoot. So he may be there. He may not. I haven't confirmed it with him yet, but I'm really excited, dude. Like, I think this year people are gonna people are going to lose arrows for sure, but it's also going to be, I'm trying to make it as realistic as I can. Because sometimes you're out there, you're out there hunting and you've got a deer behind a tree and all you see is their vitals. I mean, I had this happen to me last year. Their vitals are in a very small spot. And if you feel ballsy enough, you can take the shot.
So it's funny that you say that because my wife has a buck that she was hunting um, for like 2 months. He would show up and then he'd be there and I'm like, hey, you need to go. He showed up. There was a split in a tree, a Y, and it was like 4 or 5 inches
Mm-hmm.
of just split. And I was like, I'm texting her, I'm looking at the deer on camera. I'm like, hey, you gonna shoot her? What you doing? Knowing she's not gonna look at it yet.
Yeah.
Deer walks off. She goes, I didn't feel comfortable. And I said, okay, if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. So I went back towards the end of season and I shot a doe. And she goes to help me find it, and I'm like, she's like, where'd you shoot it at? And I'm like, she was right here. And she looked back, and it was right through the V. And we found my arrow, and then we found the doe, and I'm like, she's like, I
Dude,
can't believe you shot it through the V.
I love shots like that. I mean, and the whole point was to make the shoot a lot like tack. Because when I went to Tennessee, that's where I got the idea from, was when I went to Tennessee this year for tack.
I've
There was
never shot
multiple.
3D course.
Oh, dude, it'll it's it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And the thing is too, like, you do have guys that go, they're like, oh, I'm gonna 12 ring this thing, and my score is 150 right now. I need to get in. I'm like, I mean, you're taking it too serious, but if that's what you want to do, that's
Well,
all you, man.
I see a lot of the guys in the league. They go and they have fun doing it, and I'm like, I really want to go, but at the same time, like, it's inconvenient for me because I always have stuff going on those weekends.
Yeah.
And they only have like tack is here, and then you never know when the next one's going to be. Once
Well,
I
if you can set out a time, I want to say it's May or April or something, but set out a time around that time frame next year and just go up to the Tennessee one, dude. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth the drive. If you get an Airbnb, it's totally worth it because you're
I'm
not
only going
only,
if you're driving the rest of the way.
I mean, you stop up in here, man, we'll go. I don't care. I'm planning on getting an Airbnb next year anyway and just doing the whole weekend. So
I'm in. Count me in.
they, I will tell you though, I will
Wait, when
tell you,
is it?
I don't know, probably sometime in April or May.
I think this year. This year it was during turkey season.
It was, but I'm not a big turkey hunter, so I had no problem.
This is my first year hunting turkey for the bow
Dude,
hunt
I
league.
was gonna go,
Competition.
huh?
The bow hunt league has a turkey competition.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah. It's turkey season. I think it was like 16 people on a team. I'm not really sure. I had to beg my way onto the pasture pimps. Ben
That's crazy.
Ben told me he gave me. I had to send him my resume and my social and my credit card numbers, and that's the only way they added me to the team.
Huh.
No, I've never killed a turkey in my life besides this year.
Dude, you want to talk
I shot
about
3 of
turkeys?
them with my bow.
I, for the past 5 years, I finally did something and I actually haven't done it, but I know I can do it now. Um, there is this turkey target at this range we're going to be shooting at that every single time I go, I always try to shoot it in the head because it's like a 30-yard shot, right? And it's got this big pine tree behind it. I have skipped off the top of the head. I've hit the snood and hit the tree behind it. I finally last weekend when we went to go shoot at because it's different course. We have two 3D courses out by us.
Uh-huh.
Um, the other one is just at DNR headquarters. It's like a big open field and they just have or targets at certain distances. There was a 23-yard shot on a turkey. I finally was able to shoot him in the head. I was
Good.
I'm so happy.
I shot 3 turkeys this year with my bow, and every single one of them I shot through the wings.
Yeah, see, and like you can see that's the thing about turkeys, man. And I'm sure eventually I'll go and I'll learn, but I'm so focused on deer that I just don't really care about a bird.
I
Um,
just don't. I have nothing to do in that period of time.
that's why you go to tack.
Well, then I picked up turkey hunting. I've been calling
Okay, well,
turkeys. I've been calling turkeys for my grandpa and them for a while. Um, and some friends. I just never cared to kill one, and then a lot of people said I couldn't kill one, so I was like, all right, watch this. But
When you kill
I
three.
enjoy it, and I took my wife last year. We didn't get to kill. I had some birds in about 40 yards, but I had my shotgun because I didn't get involved in the turkey competition
Yeah.
as much as I did this year. But like last year, um, she went and we were sitting there and she heard the bird and her eyes lit up and I'm like, yeah, this is what happens in the morning. And then she was like, I love this. This is awesome. Now she won't go if it's hot. I'm going to tell you, but
That's the reason I don't really go because I'm not a big heat guy.
well, I shot the two birds from Florida fairly early, like right at 8:30. And then the one I shot in Georgia this year, I killed him on Easter at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was sitting from 6 o'clock to 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's like deer hunting, man.
Yeah, well, I was on my phone. I was in a ground blind, and I was on my phone, and my phone died, and I had a bird that was gobbling. He was 80, 90 yards in the woods. The whole from the time they got off the roost till 1 o'clock in the afternoon, this bird would gobble every time I hit my call.
Hmm.
But he was henned up, and I knew the hen was in there. And then I'm sitting there, and I hit the call again, and he hammered off on me. And then I hear like a cluck come from my right, and here comes a bearded hen. And I'm like, oh shoot, that's pretty cool. I'll watch her because from what I was told, you can't kill bearded hens in Georgia. I call my DNR that's in here, and I'm like, can you kill bearded hens? And he's like, no. He said it's still a hen. I was like, okay. I don't know the rules. I didn't care to kill her
Yeah,
anyways.
I wouldn't
But
chance it.
she strutted up and beat the crap out of my decoy. Yeah,
You sure it was a hen?
I'm 100% sure it was a hen. I got pictures of her.
You didn't name that hen Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, but she came out and just mollywopped that decoy, and then I just heard I could hear him spitting and drumming, and I couldn't see him. And I'm like sitting here trying to look because it's just a big like road that runs from. There's a feeder on the other side of this property, and we go all the way back in on the creek. And the feeder's all the way at the front of this place, like 600 yards from us.
Mm-hmm.
And this hen come walking down this road. I guess they had come from the feeder or whatnot. I don't know. But they had come walking down this road and they were just cruising. She seen my decoy, beat it up, and then I heard him and he walked, I don't know, I think we counted out to like 7 steps.
Dang.
Yeah, I shot him 7 steps.
Holy crap.
At 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And
See, the turkey thing for me is like, I said this to Tim Knight when he came on. I've said it before too, but like, I gotta have like deer hunting. Every buck looks different for the most part, like they're unique. And with birds, they're cool. I get excited when I see them on camera, and like I like to see them in fields and stuff. I have beef with turkeys. I don't know why. Every time I've been around them at like zoos or farms and stuff, they want to fight. So maybe I need to start turkey hunting just to show them what's up. But I just don't get excited. Like I saw one of my buddies, Brock, the guy I was talking about earlier. He's a turkey guide up in Michigan, and he has sent me photos of like a smoke face turkey. Now that I could get into. If we're talking white birds and like different color, like Osceolas, I like how they look. They look cool. There has to be like a visual thing for me rather than just a big brown chicken that, is running in the woods, which that's not to talk down on them. It just doesn't do it for me,
Well, I may or may not have the Osceola ends.
Well, I know what I'm doing next spring.
My grandpa is the head of the lease on some of the desert ranches down there, and I'll take some of my buddies. Like this year, I took my brother-in-law, his best friend, and his son, and then I took my wife and my other best friend, and we all went down there and hunted. And it's like 6,800 acres.
Damn.
All pastured.
Hey, well, I might have to join you on one of those. Because that'd be sick. Like to have like an Osceola fan down here or something. I mean, like I said, they're cool. I think they're awesome animals. I just deer are my thing. You know,
Deer are my thing. 100%. I'm a deer hunter. My
yeah,
wife, if you say, would you rather go kill a 150-inch whitetail, a inch and a half spur, Osceola, and I'm trying to think of other things that people like to do.
or go kill a pig.
Nah, that's she don't care about a pig.
Oh, really?
But if you tell her, if you say all these things, and then you say, or do you want to go kill a wood duck? She's gonna grab her shotgun and meet you out in the truck.
Really?
She is a duck hunter.
Oh
She is
man.
100% a duck hunter. And I
Yeah.
started it, and I'm grateful that she goes with me.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you she doesn't get up in the morning. She wakes me up to go duck hunting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, see now duck hunting, man, me and my buddy Thor, we've gone back and forth a million times because I was giving him crap today. This morning when, because me and my buddies have like a morning call every morning. It's just kind of the way we wake up. And it's always us giving each other crap every day. It's usually pretty much the same stuff. And for whatever reason, it never gets old. We do a lot of bull rat impressions. Yeah, so that might have something to do with it. But
Might have
like,
a slight little bit to do with it.
yeah, well, they call and I'm like, hello. It's like, this is my house. Enter, please. And it's like, it's just stupid stuff. But he is a big duck hunter. And I was giving him crap this morning because, he was talking to me like, man, you're just gonna go out there and kill a spike. You don't kill a buck this year with your bow. You need to take your gun, put that bow down. I was like, listen, I don't want to hear it from the man that says, oh, I'm gonna buy this new lift and I'm gonna put my gun down or my bow down and go home with a gun. And then when November 23rd comes around, I'm done with deer. Hell with them deer. I'm going after ducks. And I'm like, the only reason that I don't talk bad about ducks is because of Phil Robertson. If that man never existed, I see ducks are cool. My first word was duck, but I have no interest in hunting at all. Like, I just don't. I've tasted it. I don't like it.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm 100% with you. What I will say though is I enjoyed duck hunting. I definitely enjoy deer hunting most, especially with a bow. But if I can, I usually end up shoot a deer that I want to shoot before duck season comes in.
Yeah.
And then at that time, like on Fridays, if I know where ducks are, I'll step back into the deer woods. Because I'm off on Fridays. So instead of hunting, the guys I hunt with a specific group. And unless majority of us can go, I'm not going to go without them. So I'll go deer hunt, and then when the times like Saturdays and Sundays when everybody's ready to go, I'll just hunt the evenings for deer.
Yeah.
But I got a game plan for next year, and I'm gonna try to kill a duck with a 410 duck judge.
Oh my.
I'm gonna see if I can. If I can
You know
find
what you need to do? You need to take a bow out there. Kill a duck with a bow. Then we'll talk.
I can.
Well, there you go.
Because I got birds. I got a little spot that I deer hunt, and I'll be like, it's a flooded area, and I'll get up in a climber or something, and they all just swim by me, and I just
start pecking them off.
I mean, if it's legal, I'll 100% try it.
It's not what I was thinking. I told Thor, I'm like, you want me to go duck hunting? Let me take my bow, and I'll just kind of get up there and send it. And if I get one, I get one. If not, I don't know, man.
Everyone's against shooting them off the water, and I'm just.
Man, that's the same thing. People shooting birds off the roost. I don't care if it's legal. Do it.
Do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
I don't care if you shoot them off the water because you're almost. All right, I say almost because I had to take some boys this year, and their accuracy when the birds are on the water is not that good.
Yeah.
But you're almost 100% accurate if that bird is on the water.
Listen, I love Cy Robinson, but I almost guarantee that man's probably killed some birds off the water.
Oh,
with how old he is and how I know that I mean, I love that family. That family has done so much for me, and they don't even know who I am, So like,
yeah.
But I can confidently say I'm sure that they've probably done that before. And so if they're going to do it, I would have no problem doing it,
I'm in for it.
I don't know, man. But look, before we wrap this up, what did we miss? Did we miss anything with BHL? Is there anything you want to sort of do a shameless plug for? What can we expect from BHL this year? I know there's a lot going on.
Lots of big prizes. I don't know if I can say it yet, but big prize.
Big prizes. Got it.
Big prize. Big prizes for one entry. Not winning a certain specific area, but just signing up and shooting a buck. Big prize.
Hell yeah. Well,
look out
me
for
excited.
look out for the post that we're going to start having with some of our sponsors. Giveaways are about to start rolling. We're up over like 400 something teams already. A lot.
That's crazy because that's only 400 teams and only 3 people. That's only what, 1,200. Yep. I mean, we need more people to sign up. We need 56,000 people to sign up.
100%. We would be great to have that many people sign up, but we're also getting into our vacation time. Once we get a real fast turnover in signups, and then it gets really slow, and then it gets really fast again.
Yeah.
And we are already double of our signups from last year.
Hell yeah.
So
I love it.
We could have a huge turnout this year.
I love it. God,
which means more names that are going to have to fight with me when I don't get pulled for giveaways.
You'll be fine. You'll be okay. Well, tell everybody where they can find you guys.
You can find us on Facebook, Bowhunting League. Go bowhuntingleague.com for a website. Instagram, Bowhunting League. TikTok, Bowhunting League. And I mean, that's it. You'll find anything that you want on any of those pages.
Oh yeah, dude. Awesome. Well, if we didn't miss anything, man, I appreciate you coming on. I want to get you back on later this year, sort of get like an update throughout your season and kind of what BHL is seeing. And then honestly, we could just do like a BS session because I know there's plenty more that we can cover.
I am 1,000% in for a BS session.
Hell yeah. Awesome, dude. Well, I guess till next time, buddy.
Especially after I get back from Ohio.
Yeah, I want to hear about that. If you pull a CJ Alexander, don't make it public. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
But all right, man. Well, I appreciate it. And if you guys haven't signed up for Bowhunting League yet, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Go sign up.
What he said.